So we're loaded into the game now, Lurlian. This is going to be a fantastic series. It's one I have actually been looking forward to. Probably only second to the one we're doing last today, which is, of course, the grubby game. But let's get to this. In the top left position of Aquilon Waste, we have got the blue Protoss player, the Premier League caster himself. I'm sure once Kalara sees this, he will become very active in the Twitch chat. It is ToD. And his opponent spawning in the bottom right position, the red Protoss player, meaning this will be a PvP, Socke.
Yeah, the German player Socke is going to go up against ToD. Let's go over real quickly how these two players got in the position that they're currently in, because they're coming from different places. As far as ToD goes, he was able to qualify for the Challenger League through the last qualifier. Like Maddle said before, the very last qualifier he was able to eke out and finish high enough to be able to qualify himself. In that qualifier, he took out players such as Bratok and Stardust. On the other hand, we have Socke, who comes from Premier League. He had a very difficult group for himself. He was playing in Group D, which was... It was no easy group, but it wasn't the hardest one either. He was in Group D with Demaga, MVP, himself, and SIW, which is arguably a difficult group because, you know, MVP is in there. But then again, Demaga upsetting everyone and everything and going 2-0 in his group. Socke finishing third. That's why he's here.
Now, the big thing about this game is I've just done a little bit of research into the predictions of what this should be in terms of their win rates and stuff like that. And actually, it's all leaning towards Socke. However, I think that the stats really aren't telling the true story here, because ToD, when he's on form, which he's shown that he has been recently, he is a spectacular player. He's in the top of GM. Let's face it, he is really great. He's a fantastic caster. We've seen it. We've all seen it in the chat. People are loving a bit of ToD. We've both had the pleasure of casting with him as well at the ESED UK Masters. He's an amazing guy. So I think this could be very interesting. But PvP, would you say it's still a coin flippy matchup, or would you say after things like the Mothership Core coming in, it's become a bit more stable?
It's become a bit more stable, but it's definitely still build order still taking a huge factor. There's still hard counters, there's still things that make you lose instantly, and playing 100% safe does not exist in PvP. You'll never be 100% safe against everything. There will always be something that can surprise you, which you had no idea was coming. But you can improve in the matchup, and ToD has a 50% win rate versus Protoss, whereas Socke, he's got a little bit of a higher percentage. He's got 55%. This is ToD's worst matchup.
Now, Socke, he's actually got his Twilight Council coming down here after that gate. So this could be DT play, it could be Blink play, lots of different options. This map does lend itself to Blink play, but obviously it wasn't... Do you remember back in the days of the beta before Blink had its research time nerfed?
Mm-hmm.
That was some fun times going 3-gate Blink Stalker with a Mothership Core. Meanwhile, ToD, he's going to be going straight for that Stargate, so I really hope he gets an Oracle out, because there's the Dark Shrine for the red Protoss player, and if he doesn't get detection in the form of that Oracle, ToD is going to be hitting himself.
Mm-hmm. This Zealot of ToD is going to walk in here. I'm not sure where it's walking. It's actually going to try to scout the main base. I don't think it's going to get far enough, though. Might be able to see the timing of the second gateway go down. Did it catch a glimpse of that? No, actually it saw absolutely nothing. Has not seen a single building that Socke is planted down. So very, very blind indeed is what ToD is going to be. So he needs that Oracle. And in the ideal world, ToD will get a second Oracle. That way he will have one Oracle across the map attacking, and another Oracle at home to defend against the DTs.
That would be the ideal world, and hopefully ToD will do that, because there's nothing worse than just having your, well, even two Oracles over the other side of the map, happily melting a mineral line, and then suddenly you hear that swipe back at your base. You go and click over and realize you've got no detection there, or worse, you've got an Oracle there, but it doesn't have any energy. So frustrating. But Socke's Dark Shrine, it is just moments away from completion. He's going to follow this up, just getting his natural base down relatively quickly. He's got enough minerals for it. Just waiting to warp in the DTs first. And yeah, the Oracles... Oh, the Oracle flew straight over. He sees the pylon. ToD, pull it back. Pull it back, ToD. ToD, bring ToD. Okay, ToD, what are you doing? Lurlian, what's ToD doing? What's he doing? Why is he not pulling it back? Oh.
He has a second Oracle about to pop, and he sees the DTs, so he should be fine here. The Oracle is going to pop out in a second. It is a risk to take, you're right. He's hoping to do some counter damage while he's dealing with these DTs. The DTs are now in the main base. Here's the Oracle. The Envision ability goes down. Is one of the DTs going to fall? Yes, one of them is going to get chased down, but the second one is going to go back into the mineral line. Nice micro here by Socke. That DT will be able to get a lot of kills. 2 kills now, 3 kills, a 4th one.
Oh, but look at the other side. The Oracle for ToD gets taken out as he was trying to do some damage. And now with that DT remaining, well, Socke's done hugely more damage. 11 workers killed to just 2.
Yeah, that was not in favor of ToD at all. And he doesn't have an expansion either. Socke's expansion is about to finish up. He's getting another gateway. He's getting Blink. And ToD, wow, he's investing in another Oracle. That was not something that I really expected him to do, but he has to. He is sending out another Oracle across the map to go for some harassment. So he'll need a new Oracle to be able to defend himself against potentially more DTs being warped in.
This is now really heavily in Socke's favor. It's as simple as that. He's ahead by 10 supply. He's also ahead by 7 probes, and his natural base is finished. So he's going to be able to be producing clearly 2 probes at a time to just 1 of ToD. ToD's got to do something big here. What are his options early, and what could he potentially do to try and level this out now?
He's going to have to do some damage at some point with this Oracle that he has now positioned near the main base of Socke. But Socke, he's getting Blink, which is like the perfect upgrade to have to deal with Oracles, and he has 3 Stalkers in position, and 3 Stalkers easily do with an Oracle. What ToD does have going for himself is that he's going to take out a proxy pylon of Socke and supply block him momentarily, which is going to set back his probe count a little bit. But in terms of economy, I don't really think ToD can catch up. I think he's going to have to do something off of one base, because Socke is going to be too far ahead. Up by 10 workers, up by a full Nexus, but no. ToD is going to try to macro his way out of this. He's going to take the manly way out.
Just like, if I macro enough right here, I can make this work. And ToD, I really hope he can make it work, because he went ballsy, going by trying to get over there with that first Oracle to try and go and do some damage. It didn't do enough. It was a risky move to take. It allowed Socke to get a couple of probe kills off first with those DTs. But just look at this army, just happily, casually strolling across the map right now. That is quite a sizable force. Currently, we are sitting here with ToD. He's got 1 Immortal and 5 Stalkers, 2 Oracles and a Sentry, going up against a DT, 15 Stalkers, a Sentry, and a Mothership Core. That is quite a sizable army, and this is going to be a very tough hold for the Blue Protoss player.
It is. With proper Blink micro, Socke should not lose a single unit here. Only 1 Immortal is not that scary. 1 Stalker does go down. Socke is not blinking his Stalkers back as good as he can, and he's losing a lot of Stalkers actually here. ToD is doing quite well for himself, I feel. The DTs are gonna get discovered and get taken out, and it's actually a lot better than I thought it would be. ToD is actually holding on pretty well here, trading somewhat even. Pretty even, I'd say, yeah.
Yeah, he's doing really well, and it's all because Socke hasn't focused down that Immortal. The Immortal getting a good number of kills up already, dealing a huge amount of damage from the back, will now get focused, but gets a couple more shots. Meanwhile, more warpings coming in for both players. ToD is now only behind by 4 supply. The worker counts 30 to 35 in Socke's favor, not as large as it was previously. The proxy pylon will get taken down before the Stalkers manage to warp in. This is looking really good and a nice hold by ToD at the moment.
ToD needs another Immortal, though. He's still down by 7 workers. His economy is not that good. There comes the next Immortal. If Socke would know that the next Immortal is not almost there yet, he would go ahead and warp in another full round of Stalkers, and he would be able to pressure before another Immortal is out on the field. But Socke doesn't know that. He's going to be falling back, resuming pro production, and is going to go into a Forge and a Zealot charge right now. So he's going to be playing Charge Lot Archon with some upgrades for the mid game, whereas ToD, he still has to make a decision, but the logical thing to do would be to drop down that Robotics Bay in as soon as he feels safe, basically.
And he's got to feel safe because he's moving forward. He's getting a look at those proxy pylons. He's going to be taking them out. This is something that's always frustrating. He needs to spot the one to the left, which he may not do. He hasn't seen it yet and isn't sending any units over there. So that staying up is a good little win. Meanwhile, we see the top proxy pylon gets taken down by Socke there. They're both taking back some of that map control. Immortals coming down on both sides. +1 ground weapons is starting a little bit sooner for Socke compared to ToD. Meanwhile, ToD said 1 lone zealot in that will unfortunately die. But ToD with the Templar, the Twilight Council coming down, as well as his Forge, he can start leveling this out, but he's got to do something big because he's still behind by 9 workers. That's pretty huge.
Okay, pretty interesting decision here to go for the Twilight Council. He's going to get a blink of his own, I would imagine, to be able to deal with the blink stalkers of his opponent. When your opponent has blink in PvP, you're gonna have to get blink, no matter what. At some point in the game, you're gonna have to get blink, or you're gonna lose some way or the other. You could lose to a big blink counterattack because the blink stalkers are more mobile, or you could lose battles because your opponent can chase your units down and you will not be able to escape with your stalkers. So I would expect ToD to start his blink in a second and then go for the robotics bay. I don't know, Maddles. Yeah, there he goes. I was so confused by that Oracle. I was so confused by it.
Yeah, the Oracle, I think that, well, he's obviously got observers out, so he doesn't have to worry about detection. He's just going to go and try and do a little bit of harassment, try and get some of that probe count better in his favor, and that wouldn't be a bad decision to make. He's going to be sitting around the edge. It shouldn't get scouted as long as it goes all the way past that proxy pylon, which it should do at the top position. But look at this from Socke. He's got a sizable chunk of units. He's being very forward with all of them. But ToD, we saw earlier, made a really nice hold and a really good defense. If he's able to do it again, it would be great. But he's down, well, he's actually up by 1 Immortal. The Stalker count is the same, but there's 2 Archons for Socke that ToD does not have.
It's all going to be about that Oracle. How much damage is that going to be able to do while while the army of Socke is away from home, and when is he going to send that in? That's the questions that we're asking ourselves right now. Socke is looking to get ready to attack. He has just finished up +1 attack, and he's starting +1 armor, but hasn't got that anywhere near finished up just yet.
Oh, the Oracle's going in, but yeah, it's going in at the same time though. Socke's pushing up into the natural. Photon Overcharge is triggered. There goes down a Time Warp for Socke. We can see that the Immortals are getting focused at the moment. There's 4 Archons there dealing an incredible amount of damage here for the red Protoss player. Meanwhile, the Oracle back at the natural base of Socke is doing a nice amount of damage for ToD. The Photon Overcharge trying to do as much as possible. We can see that Socke's killed a huge number more workers though than that of his opponent. He is crushing through here, and ToD has got no choice but to GG out of game number 1 of this best of 3.